There's an old joke, widely attributed to NASA, that says to never underestimate the bandwidth of a station wagon full of tapes hurtling down the highway. To the average Cuban, that bandwidth alone makes the Paquete worth paying for. At least twice a week, the contents of a 1 terabyte hard drive are first assembled in Havana before making their way out to each province by a courier via bus, car, bike, or even on foot. This journey to each province takes about a day, which means that a TV show that aired in the US on a Sunday night would be available in the Paquete on Tuesday morning. This drive contains hundreds of dollars worth of data, but costs only a few dollars to copy. The Paquete isn't outright illegal, but it inhabits a gray area in the eyes of the state that Cubans are all too familiar with. Many Cubans approach my interviews cautiously. Some agreed to be recorded on the condition of anonymity. Others refused to be recorded at all and would only provide background information.
My name is Conlon Novak, a senior at Carnegie Mellon University's Dietrich College of Humanities and Social Sciences. And what you just heard was an excerpt from a video I made for the project that would eventually become my senior honors thesis, a year-long look at the internet connectivity of Cuba. What grabbed my attention was specifically one phenomena, El Paquete Semanal, or the weekly package in English. I'll refer to it later as EP. But to investigate it further, I needed to actually go to Cuba. So with the help of my advisor, Professor Tardio, funded by the Surge Grant in the Senior Honors Thesis Program, I was able to go twice, in fact. After conducting a dozen interviews, a thorough literature review, and writing 40 pages of thesis material, here's a preview of some of the conclusions that my thesis draws. El Paquete Semanal is a national, but not state-owned, distributed, but coming from a central source, illegal, but not too illegal, offline, but not totally offline, sneakernet, that violates a significant number of national and international laws to bring entertainment and data to people across Cuba. EP regularly distributes a massive amount of data containing applications, educational materials, entertainment media, underground magazines, premieres of Cuban movies and music, still evolving Cuban advertisements, and a plethora of other microphenomena that haven't or can't be fully documented due to the relative ephemerality of the package's contents. A variety of evolving external factors, like increased mobile data connectivity and the growth of La Mochila, a state-owned competitor, appear at first to be on a collision course with EP's distribution model and content niche. However, these only seem to have strengthened EP's position as the fastest, cheapest way to get the specific large chunks of popular data that the average Cuban user may want. EP is treated by users as something of a public utility, likely a combination of it having maintained the same relative price point, at least in Camoy, for the past several years, and the reliability and predictable nature of the service. As Cubans are increasingly allowed to access the internet via more traditional, legal means by the government, either as infrastructure is built or made sufficiently affordable across the country, it's possible how Cubans access their internet may change, but the general public has effectively already been connected to the internet for the better part of the last decade. While likely not a comfortable position for the Cuban government, EP has been tacitly tolerated until now, without any strong indication that their position may change in the future. EP is a system that an entire nation's government would rather allow to go officially unacknowledged, especially when it has the potential to jeopardize their relationships with countries that fuel their increasingly important tourism industry that so many of their people and businesses depend on for more gainful employment than the state can offer. While it's possible that EP's days are numbered, at least in its current form, this possibility was repeatedly rejected by interview subjects to varying degrees, who don't expect EP to change anytime soon. They also don't expect it to last forever, either. An extension of their resilient and improvisational inclinations, they expect a replacement, either naturally or as a product of necessity, to emerge in the coming years. Some cited the next 2 to 3, but a few suggested the roots of this replacement likely already exist in one form or another. For now, EP remains a massively popular economic and cultural force, acting both as an internet alternative for Cuban content and a direct connection to the internet proper. Its size, impact, distributed infrastructure, and informal nature all warrant further study, as they may contain further insights into how network infrastructure can be built, owned, improved, and maintained by communities of individuals, rather than organizations, corporations, or governments. Some of the same egalitarian principles that the Internet was founded on are evident in and around EP, with how Cubans access and share content daily, which stands in stark contrast to the interests, stated and otherwise, of their government. If you're interested in watching the video that the clip at the beginning was taken from, you can learn more at conlonnovak.com/thesis or bit.ly/ep-cubano.